Hello and welcome back to SIG Mechanics. I'm Edmund, and today I'm releasing a 3-part video series that I wish existed when I was getting acquainted with the P320. When I started out, every time I forgot how to do something, or either to take apart the gun or put it back together, I had to find a forum or scrub through an entire video to find one particular part or piece of information. So it could take me anywhere between 15 minutes or half an hour to find the information I needed. So in this video, I'm not only going to be disassembling the P320 into its smallest possible component, but I'm also going to be presenting the information in a way that can be indexed, like how someone might read a textbook. I'll have a complete table of contents, and you'll be able to find, within 60 seconds or less hopefully, the chapter of the video corresponding to the part or parts you need the information for. The 3 videos are going to be in-depth on the slide, the FCU, and the grip. Each part will have a chapter searchable in the comment section. I will also be providing you with the part's name and corresponding original 6-hour part number displayed on the screen for easy ordering if you need it. Before I start this video, I'm going to be dismantling the P320 full size into its absolute smallest components, meaning I'll be going far beyond a general field strip. A disclaimer here, I'm not a gunsmith or an armorer, and failing to understand what you're doing could result in malfunctions, injuries, or at the very least, lost parts. If you're unsure about anything here, I recommend you see a professional who can either do the work for you or provide an extra level of guidance as you proceed. This video is dedicated to the grip. In front of you are all 13 components that make up the grip. Let's begin. The tools required for the deconstruction of the grip are a fine-tipped tool or hook and a 5/64 hex screwdriver. Take out the takedown lever. If you have one, remove the grip weight. Locate the grip weight on the inside where the magazine channel is. You may need tools, but for the most part, you should be able to pull the grip weight out. If you have a magwell installed on your grip, you need a 5/64 hex bit to remove the rear screw. Once the screw is removed, gently pry apart the grip from the magwell. The magazine release is comprised of 3 components. The main body, which you see here, extends to the left, and a plastic sleeve here on the right, and internal to this, a small spring. To begin disassembly, push in on the magazine release so that the body on the other side extends out and exposes a small hole. You need a fine-tipped pick or tool for this part. Insert your tool into the hole and begin to creep out the plastic sleeve. You can now release the tension and pull out the magazine release from the other side of the grip. Remove the spring. The grip is now completely stripped. Regardless as to if you have an OEM floor plate or an aftermarket floor plate, the disassembly process of the magazine will remain the same. Locate the hole at the base of the magazine. Yours might be a circle or rectangular, depending on the model floor plate and magazine that you have. Use a tool to push into the hole and compress the magazine spring. Once compressed, you can use your index finger to begin the process of pushing the floor plate forward on the rails of the magazine body. Once the magazine floor plate is halfway removed, put a finger over the spring, compress the spring, and finish pulling out the floor plate. You can now release tension of the spring. Slowly let the tension go, and the floor plate is removed. The magazine floor plate insert sits loosely on the magazine spring. There is no need to pry it off, as it just falls off on its own. Slide the magazine spring out of the magazine tube. The follower is attached to the spring via a press fit. To remove the follower, simply pry apart the spring from the follower. The magazine tube is now completely stripped. Take the spring and the main body and insert the spring into the channel Hold the spring in place with your thumb and point your grip upwards. This allows the spring to stay in place and not fall down. And slowly insert the button into the channel so that it pops out the other side. Take the plastic sleeve, and it only goes in one direction. Slide it in place, and now push it in and lock. You can release tension on the spring and test for functionality. On the magwell, note the side that has the threads. Line this up to the rear of the grip. Put the front in first, and the back will fall into place. Take your screw, pop it in place, and screw it down. Locate the slot in the rear of the grip where the grip weight will be inserted. Take your grip weight and flip it so that the smooth backing is facing the front of the grip. Get it in place and slide it in. Insert your takedown lever. To insert the follower into the magazine, simply press fit it in. Begin by finding the closed coil end of the spring and then locating the highest point on the spring. The highest point of the spring will line up with the rounded edge of the follower. Simply press fit the follower and ensure that the legs that protrude within the follower body lock in with the spring. Before you install the follower and spring assembly into the magazine tube, locate the low cut area of the magazine tube. Locate the protruding and low cut area of the follower body. Incorrectly inserting the follower and spring into the tube will not allow a proper merger at the front end. However, if you insert it properly, you notice that the protruding end of the follower merges very nicely with the body of the magazine tube. Begin by lining up the geometries between the floor plate insert and the magazine tube. Note the two flat ends and the two rounded ends. There's also a cutout recessed into the insert body. Line up the cutouts of the insert to the shape of the spring and then compress the magazine spring into the magazine tube. With a finger still compressing the magazine spring, take your floor plate and line up the rails and begin pushing the floor plate in on those rails. Once halfway, you can release the tension of the spring and use your finger to finish pushing the floor plate all the way to the end. Thanks for watching part 3 of 3 in the complete disassembly and reassembly of the P320 grip. I made this series of videos in anticipation of future videos. I have some stuff that I'm working on and some concepts that I want to put out there, but I wanted people to understand and be comfortable with the complete gutting and disassembly of the P320. So I hope that you learn something from this video, and I hope that you can use it as a reference going forward. Also, I want to take an opportunity to say thank you to all of those who have subscribed to this channel already, and those who have left positive comments and liked the videos. I feel like there is a desire for this type of information being presented in the way that I'm presenting it, so I'm going to continue to provide it. If you haven't already, kindly subscribe. If anything piques your interest, let me know in the comment section. I appreciate your support, and stay tuned. See you soon.